Hey everyone, welcome to the Sylvania Rams football show. Coach Tyler Vann and his senior class here with us tonight. Coach Vann, first of all, before we talk to the seniors real fast, pretty successful effort the other night. Really impressed that pitched a shutout on a very good Hokes Bluff team.
That was a big deal. We bent a little bit as the defense. They got inside the 22 two times, I think. Was able to force one turnover, and then we got a big stand there inside the 10 towards the start of the second half. So our guys played really hard on defense, and the offensive line did really well, and running backs ran the ball up.
Howie, I know you got to see the game. The thing that you text me was the defense inside the 20 was stellar, and to pitch a shutout and have them twice inside the 20, you had some good defense inside the scoring zone.
Right, yeah, we struggled to squeeze a few times. We missed some linebacker fields there between the 20s. When we got inside the 20, I feel like our guys did a better job of just doing the job. It only takes one or two guys out of place for an offense to bust a big play. They busted a few on us, but our guys did their job when we got down there and just took care of business. So I was proud of them.
Janie, you got anything to open up?
No, Coach, like I asked you after the game the other night, 3 goal line stands in that game. Your defense played lights out. They were kind of a bend but don't break type of defense Friday night.
Yeah, and that's something we've done a lot this year. Actually, we've been a little bit, but our guys have done a good job when adversity's hit of just continuing to fight, not letting the team score. You could go back to a loss against Plainview late in the game. We could have laid down and let them score, but we held them to a field goal and had a chance there for them to miss, bobble snap, or do something wrong. So our guys fight no matter the situation. So it was just another example of that on Friday night.
I noticed something a little seemed like I noticed something a little different on the defensive line. You had 51-33 on the same side, a little bit more Friday. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that?
We've had a lot of injuries, so we've actually had to move 51 inside more than normal. We like playing him at end, but I think it's a better if we have 15 outside right now with the depth that we have and 51 playing inside. So that's just how it worked out.
I know the defense was lights out, and the offensive line did a great job, even though it was kind of a makeshift. But boy, the twos, as John Seals calls them, 22 and 2. It's hard to bring them down. When they fall forward, and that's what you want a running back to do.
Yeah, I think you look back to last year. We had a quarterback through for 2,200 yards, and then this year we've got 2 running backs. Both are right at 800. I think 22 is a little over. 2's right there at it, and so you have 2 rushers that's going to end up rushing for over 1,000 yards. That's a big deal in a season to have 2 guys that it's giving that kind of production. And shows how unselfish both of them guys are. They change it in and out. They try to stay healthy. They do a really good job. And then up front, they just do a good job giving them a crease. And a lot of times them 2 guys don't miss it, and they run hard after contact. So a lot of yak yards, and hopefully that continues throughout the rest of the year.
Okay, Randy, you want to bring these 4 seniors in?
Let's bring in the best looking group there. We'll end with the best tackling cornerback in the state. But let's go to the other side and start with Ryan, then Braiden, and Brant. Just kind of reintroduce yourself. Y'all been on the show before, but tell everybody who you are, position you play. Start with you, Ryan.
I'm Ryan Coder. I play linebacker.
I'm Brant Kittle. I play tackle and defensive end. I'm Braiden Thomas. I play fullback and corner safety.
And I play DB and receiver.
All right, guys. We had all of y'all on week 1, week 2. It's been quite of a journey. We faced some injuries and been up and down the road, but let's start. Braiden, we'll let you go first, and then we'll just go through everybody. Through 8 weeks of this season, what has kind of been the message or the story that stuck with you through the first 8 weeks? Braiden, you can go first. Just 1, 2 words, whatever comes to mind.
Everyone shows up, works hard, and does what they're supposed to. So.
That's pretty good right there. All right, Brant, how about you?
Just keep fighting. Whatever happens, just keep fighting.
And Ryan?
Just play hard constantly, no matter what, hurt or not.
All right, hey, good. What do you got for us, buddy?
I mean, no matter who's injured or who's playing, just play to the best of our ability with who we got out there.
We'll go backwards this time. Hey, good. What's the first, senior night, Friday night? What's the one thing that's kind of running through your brain? You got a big game Friday night too, region game to ensure we're going to be playing one play. I believe there's a path if you don't win, Coach, but I think if you win, you're automatically guaranteed a home game. Is that correct, Coach?
That's right. We're in no matter what. But a win does secure a home playoff game.
All right. Hey, good. How do you balance big football game, senior night, all that emotion?
I mean, before the game, obviously you have like the introducing everybody and stuff. But once it gets game time, just focus on winning so we can have our home playoff spot and then be emotional after the game.
All right, Ryan.
I don't really get emotional about it. I mean, I get excited about it, but I don't get super emotional and let that affect me. I just take it in stride and do what needs to be done.
Still focus on football. How about you, Kittle?
I ain't really thought about it much. Just trying to make sure we win this one, get a home playoff game.
And Braiden, you can finish us up on this one, buddy.
We just got to play through the distractions. There's one goal, and that's to win.
Coach, each one of these young men, I'm sure you could talk about a lot, but during their senior year, you've asked each one of them to step up and be a leader. Over their course of their senior year, what have you saw them develop in their leadership ability and go from kind of, I'm sure you challenged them during the summer and the spring to lead this football team to now in the middle of the season, they are seniors and they have to lead.
Yeah, you go. I mean, Koger and Haygood, I think they started playing again my first year. It had been a while since they played. And Kit's been around the whole time. And then Braiden got him back this year. And even in January, we felt like we was going to have 7 or 8 seniors. And then that dwindled down pretty quick to the 4 guys you're sitting there looking at. But it's not easy. And trying to be able to put yourself in position to be successful for 10 games and on into the playoffs, you have to put in the amount of work required and sacrifice some time and effort in order to be successful. Because, if you just want to play football, I don't think Sylvania's a spot for you. But if you want to win football games, it takes a little bit of sacrifice, and these 4 guys know what it takes. And they've been around winning, being successful. And they've done a really good job showing the younger guys what it's going to take. And we're trying to create something special at Sylvania and something these, the 12 guys last year and the 4 guys this year hopefully can look back on in the future and see what they left behind with them too, because we want a tradition where you expect to win. It doesn't matter how talented you are. When you have a mindset every time you step up there on the football field that you're supposed to win, a lot of times you're going to find a way because you don't give yourself any other option. And these guys do a really good job. We really don't have the vocal guy in this senior group, but it's 4 guys that lead by example and do a really good job of showing up to work every day. They leave the locker the right way. I don't even think I've got on to any of these 4 doing the little things wrong. They do a really good job, and I'm proud of how they've matured and come along this season. I'm going to miss them. I'm never one of them that I've been in coaches' offices where you hear the word, we just got to get some guys out of here. We're going to be better next year. Yeah. I haven't said that yet. I've been the head coach. This is year 3 now. I haven't said that yet. I missed it. I knew I was going to miss the seniors at Woodville. If I'd have been there, I missed the seniors that we lost this last year, and I'm going to miss these 4 guys because, every player brings something different, whether they start every play or whether they don't. They bring something different to the team, and we're going to miss these 4 guys for more than just the reasons that are on the field. All four of these guys are really good kids and do things the right way. So it should be a special night tomorrow night for them four, for their families, because you got they grow up playing football, and I know two of the four, and I'm sure all four of them played Pee-wee football. But, they played all the way up, and this is it for the high school days. It's dwindling to the end. I hope we play 7 more weeks, but the senior night celebrating them four guys and what they've done throughout their life, and they should enjoy it. Enjoy Friday night. It's like I told them all week, you had the opportunity to secure a home playoff game on senior night. Everybody don't get that opportunity, so let's take advantage of it and finish region playoff right and get in the playoffs. And you never know what's going to happen after that. I feel like our road's set up really good if we can find a way to win Friday.
Excellent. Howie, you have some questions for this good group. And Coach, to expand, I almost feel like if you got a small group like this, it makes them tighter. You four have shared something that not a lot of people have. You went through a coaching change in your career, and y'all now have a chance on Friday night to really do something special. But and I congratulate you for that. Howie, questions, please.
Yeah, Coach, let's step away from football for a second. And with these 4 young men here, how much have you seen them mature off the field in these last 2 years?
We'll start. I mean, I could go through all of them, probably call them out. They've all four done a really good job. I call them as they were juniors, so they matured a good bit a year, but I missed the maturity from the freshman on. Like I'm going to get with the upcoming guys, but and Braiden, I got to know him in January, but all four of them are mature young men. They all like to joke around and crack up. They're still high school kids, but they've grown up a lot. They do things the right way. I think it's important to understand that it's tough as a high school football player to be locked in every day. It's tough to want to be out there and practice every day. And these four don't want to be out there every day, but you couldn't tell by looking at them some days. You do a good job of hiding it and showing up and just getting the job done. Because every day is not sunshine and roses, but if you push through and put your head down, it's going to end up paying off in the long run. And these four guys have done a really good job of it. I wish I'd have been here sooner and got to know them when they were younger and got to see them grow. But in the year I've got to know these young men, they've done a really good job. They've grown up a lot, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do with their life in the future as well.
All right, young man, let's see what you got right here. We'll start from left to right. What's your favorite Sylvania memory?
It ain't got to be football. It's just Sylvania, period.
Yes.
I mean, I don't really know, to be honest. I don't have just a specific special memory.
Hey, good. I'm disappointed that talking to me wasn't the first thing that come out your mouth, son. I'm just gonna let you know.
It could be a girlfriend that broke up with you.
It could be coach giving you a hard time about you tackling the first show of the year.
You don't know.
Probably finally coming out to play football, because I'd always played in Pee-wees, and I'd always loved watching it and stuff. And then finally Coach Vann getting me to come back out. I think it was a decision that was for the best.
How did that?
All right, Coger, how about you?
Probably going to prom my sophomore year. I just felt on top of the world because of it. It was a fun time.
Good.
That's cool.
Kittle?
I don't know. There's a lot of
Yeah, good question, Joe. There you go.
I don't know. There's quite a few of them, but if I had to pick one, it would probably be the Fife game last year.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Elaborate on that a little bit.
It was just a real fun game to play, and even though we lost, we had a lot of fight and everything. It was fun to play alongside that group of seniors and stuff, and just fight with them the whole game.
To me, that's pretty cool, because usually you want to forget about those losses, but it seemed like you learned a little something off that game, and that's that's great. So, Braiden, how about you?
Probably be like the team camps we do during the summer. There's no telling what's going to happen. And it's just fun being around everybody.
That's interesting. I didn't expect that one.
Right. Got a quick question for a couple of you. Y'all know who you are. You had a whirlwind of media this week. After the game, you went down to the Wild Country studio and got to talk to Marla, and then you're with me and Randy tonight on Coach Vann show. What was it like being on the tour of the media circuit?
I think it's pretty fun. Do this as a high schooler because not many people get to do it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool getting to do it. Getting to talk to everybody, get to talk about football.
Right. I know that Marla was really excited because y'all came by and hung out with us for a little while. And, luckily we had it worked out Friday night. I don't know if y'all realize this or not, but we was able to interview Coach Vann at halftime and then after the game as well. Coach, what did you feel about getting an interview before or during halftime and after the game?
It was good. Was Brant questions and he wasn't. It was just you guys. So he didn't have one to ask. It was just Howie and Sales.
Yeah, well, we're not Troy Aikman or Al Michaels or nothing like that, but we did the best.
Y'all gotta get Bryant to ask some on the sideline. See what he's.
Okay.
He's gonna have to look at the phone. He's gonna have to step up, ask a question.
Yeah, we'll make sure that happens. Absolutely. So, Kittle, got a quick question. This is actually coming from Coach Kyle Finch. With your mom having to walk out on the sideline this week, are you going to carry her out in a wheelchair since she's so old and everything?
Sure.
That was not me.
No,
Had nothing
that's
to do with it.
Kyle Finch.
Hey, look, she's watching. She'll take it up with him tomorrow.
Good luck on it, Kyle.
Good deal. How's practice going this week for anybody, coaches or players?
We've had good practices all week. Braiden was going on about how good it was last night.
That sounds like a little bit of an inside joke there. You mind passing it on to us?
We had a lot of injuries after that. I think it was Plainview is really when we had a few injuries that kind of put us way behind up front as far as depth goes. We're still a pretty good football team up front, but it hurt our depth, and we weren't able to practice like we've been able to practice leading up to the Hokes Bluff week. So we kind of took it a little easy on them last 2 weeks, I would say. We're still getting a lot of reps in, just not as physical. And last Friday night we played pretty good. Looked like we, as Braiden would say, had our legs under us a little more. So he actually ran the ball harder than he's ran it all year, so he may be on to something. So we'll see tomorrow night because practice has been very similar. So if we get the same production tomorrow night, we may have to continue to duplicate the practice schedule for the next few weeks.
Sounds like a bonus.
Yeah.
Hey,
Kittle,
while we're talking right there, Howie, I wanted to ask Braiden a question before, and it kind of goes here. Braiden, Coach, a couple of shows ago said that you and two substitute yourself in and out a lot of times. What kind of rhythm do you try to get in when you need a blow, or do you just feel like, hey, I'm right now I can step off the field and get a more fresh back in there?
It's really just whenever the other one wants to go in. It's not a specific rhythm. It's just whenever the other wants to go in, or it'll be like every 3 plays. Unless the other one breaks a long run, then they'll let them die down there at the other end of the field.
He does a good job of when they get in there. They don't sub each other out inside the 10. If 22's run it all the way down there, they do a good job of not running in, because I'm sure they'd start waving the other guy back off.
That's what I was going to ask, Coach. if you're at the 4, you're going to turn around and wave it back every time, aren't you, Braiden? I would.
A lot of times we go 22 personnel, so they're both in. So when we get
I think that's a remarkably mature football player, Coach, to have that luxury and that two mature and well coached running backs that you've had the ability to do with.
Yeah, very unselfish man. Yep, young man.
Who coaches running backs, Coach? Do you handle the running backs or
Clark does the everyday drills, and most of the time the everyday drills, running backs can put themselves through their own drill down there. They've done it since summer, so and then they just get reps and during team and stuff. So, but Clark is the titled running backs coach.
Okay, well, it sounds like Braiden and Aiden's coaching themselves. So, but we'll just move on from there.
They do a good job. They do a good job during the everyday drills. It's the first thing we do in practice. So if Clark is late getting out there, which he is most of the time because he's taping somebody. Like right now it's Aiden, so he's having his ankle tape, groin wrapped, cast wrapped. So it's we get out here at 3:05 and you got to tape people. He's normally the last guy out.
That's cool that they can do that, and you have the ability with Coach Clark to get a little extra tape done. Coach, I want to move ahead a little bit. For folks that know a lot about your opponent this week, it's a very good football team, and it's senior night, a lot of distractions, but you still got to get ready for a big game. We know what's on the line, but tell us just a little bit about Westbrook.
They're probably going to be the prettiest team we played. They have size. They're tall. They look like a football team. They're a well-coached football team. You know, they spread it out. They play an odd front on defense. Expect them to play us an odd front up front. But they play hard. They do a really good job. They've lost 3 games by a total of 9 points. I think it's 3 games. They lost by 3 points. They could very easily be playing. We could very easily be playing them this week for the 2 seed. They lost a close one at Geraldine. They lost a close one at home against Hokes Bluff. And they lost a close one at home last week against Plainview. That went down to the end. So they're a good football team. We're not to be ready to go this week, or we're going to be in a tight one. So, but our guys, like I said, they practice well. They're locked in. They know what's on the line. So I'm just excited to go out there and see them play more.
All right, Cheney, I interrupted you early. You go ahead and finish up your questions, and let's get into this week a little more.
Yeah, I was going to ask Kittle. He called a touchdown pass Friday night. Was that a little improvised did as far as getting open? Was that the way the route was supposed to be ran?
No, that was the way it was supposed to be ran. I just knew he got outside the pocket and got a little bit of pressure, so I just needed to keep running and see if I could get open. I happened to get open, so.
Good. It was a fantastic play. So let me ask all 3 of y'all. I think all 3 of y'all caught passes. You got 2 different quarterbacks, a lefty and a righty. What's the difference in catching one and the other, or is there any difference? Any of you?
Difference to me. There ain't a difference.
I'm sorry.
There's not a difference to me.
Yeah, there's not much of a difference to me. I just make sure I look the ball in and try to catch it.
Okay. I've always heard that there's a difference between a left and a right-handed quarterback throwing the ball, so I wasn't sure if there was any difference or not. So to y'all, there's no difference. That's great. So, Coach, let me come to you with this. With the difference left-handed quarterback, how does that change your plays as far as bootlegs and things like that?
It's one. You got to be left-hand dominant for one. Like one throws better going to his left, and one throws better going to his right. Obviously, both of them have their strengths. Whether it be one of them's better a 1-step drop, one of them's better a 3-step drop, or maybe like they may be both good at both of them. But it changes a little bit on which side you want to throw the ball or how you're setting it up as far as when you're throwing it to the field or where you're throwing it to the boundary. It could be as simple as if you trust a guy has a better arm strength, you don't call something to the field where you may not trust the other guy, so you got to go to the boundary with it and call a play that's set up more towards the boundary throw. But as far as righty and lefty, I think it does, you set your twins different. Obviously, you set the side that you want to throw to sometimes. Like 9 does a better job throwing if we're throwing it to the right, in my opinion. So if we're whether it be to the boundary or the field. But he's gotten better at getting his shoulders around and throwing left the last few weeks. But it can be as simple as that right there. It does change play calling, though, obviously, because you don't have to call to each other's strengths. And look, 3's done a really good job this year coming along, and I think he has a bright future at the quarterback spot. And 9's gotten better. We just got to continue to work and get better, because we're going to have to be able to throw the ball eventually. And this week, I think they're going to load the box a little bit to try to take away a running back. So we're going to have to be able to loosen them up a little bit by throwing the football. And I trust the 2 guys we got back there that can do it. And one of them can't, the other one will. If that one can't, the other one will have to go right back for it. But I trust 9's going to get the job done this Friday night. He's gotten better. He had a really pretty good game the other night. I hope he has a better one tomorrow night.
Right. Well, I'm going to move on to Westbrook, if Randy don't mind, real quick, and ask these players a quick question. You've played a few straight at you running downhill type offenses, guys, and we'll start with Ryan with this question. It'll be the same for all of you. How big of a difference is it preparing for a running team against someone like Westbrook that spreads the field and throws it all over the place?
I think with teams that run a lot more, you just got to be ready to be more physical, like especially when you get up towards the line and stuff, trying to stuff the run. And then when you got teams that play spread, you just got to be on your feet at all times and just making sure your eyes are where they're supposed to be and getting where you need to be.
Kittle, you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here. Sorry. I like it's playing run teams. We got to get our reads and stuff up front, and then when we're playing teams that throw the ball a lot more, we get to kind of pin our ears back and just try to go get the quarterback.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. With you being on the defensive line there, I'm sure you love chasing that quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Right. And Braiden, what about you, being defensive back?
I think it just gives our DBs a chance to actually guard somebody instead of, going downhill and tackling somebody.
And speaking of tackling, how about Haygood?
I like to play more against spread teams, people that throw it, because obviously it's more fun for a DB to play in coverage rather than having to go up and make a play on the run every play, but that's about it.
Randy, what do you have for him?
Guys, I just got one more question about football, and then I want to ask you a couple questions about your life outside of football. Hey, good. You kind of answered the question, but I was thinking coming into this, you've had a playing corner, you and Braiden playing on the backside. Is when I don't know how to ask this, but when you're playing a spread team that still runs the football, what is your read harder, or is it more you move from run first mentality to pass first mentality, or are you still just looking for something to try to pick up a read first?
Being at corner, obviously it's going to be a pass first, and then if you see run, just come and play the run. But you're more focused on the pass than the run, because we have other positions that are run first instead of pass.
Right, Braiden. You're reading run and then pass, or are you the same as Haygood?
It's the same as Haygood.
All right, guys. I want to jump over to your life outside of football just for a second. We'll start over here with Ryan. And I know you still got your part of your senior year to finish up, but have you begun to think what you want to do with your life in the future, Ryan, or are you still making plans at this point?
Plan is to go to Auburn after high school, get my bachelor's there, and then I'll go work in the ag field after that.
Well, you've at 17, you got your life better together than I had mine at 27. That's very respectable. How about How about you, Brant?
I still ain't figured out what I wanted to do yet, but I'm just trying to take a dead time and figure it out before I graduate.
Yeah, you still got time. Still got plenty. Braiden, what about you?
Possibly go play football somewhere. Other than that, I haven't really figured much out.
All right, hey, good. What do you got?
I plan to go to Jacksonville State to do athletic training.
Good, good. Well, I'm gonna challenge all four of you. You're young, and there's a world in front of you, and y'all, there's a lot of life to live. So just find something you love and pursue it. Coach, you would say the same thing. You love coaching, and the path that you've went on and coaching and developing young men. These four you've talked about a lot this year on the show. The next 2 weeks, every time they play past week 10, it's special because you're getting one more week. So that first home playoff game, that's a special environment.
It is. There's nothing like a playoff atmosphere. You know, when I was in high school, we didn't really think of the playoffs at North Sun Mountain. To be honest with you, we weren't a very good football program. Coach Gilbert come along, we ended up making the playoffs for the first time, and it's just different. You know, the atmosphere is different. You know, it's literally, obviously it's win or go home, but it's also win and move on. And the deeper you get in the playoffs, the better it gets. So we're looking to make a run in the playoffs. We got to take care of business Friday night.
Hey, good. Y'all have played a good schedule, a great schedule. Do you feel like you're playoff ready right now?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, we still have a couple people to get back from injuries, but whenever they all get back, we're 100% ready.
Hey, Braiden, are you feeling for this late in the year and coach giving you a little time off, feeling like you're getting your legs under you for these last 2 games, or just ready to get out and run some?
It's muted.
Just ready to run, I guess. I mean, I do the same thing every game. So.
Well, that's yeah, you do the same thing every game. That is true. Kittle, how about you? Feeling, a couple of weeks, 8 games in. You're really seniors that's got your last season right in front of you. Opportunity to create a lot of memories in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're ready. We practiced every week and stuff and just got better every week. I feel like we're ready to whatever the playoffs throw at us.
All right, Ron. I know we talked about it even the first time we owned. Senior year is a little different. How do you feel like y'all have handled the progress through your senior year? It's been a tough year. You've had a lot of people injured, and y'all have come through a lot of adversity. A little battle tested at this point, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like we've handled things pretty well, with injuries and such, and going into playoffs, I think we can be as good as we want to be. If we go into games and choose to lay down at halftime, or not lay down, but let up at halftime, it can come back and bite us. If we just stay on it the whole time, I think we're going to be fine.
Coach, leaning on these 4 during the year, and you've got a good junior class. You've got a lot of great players in each class. But these 4 in particular, do you feel like your seniors, with such a small amount of seniors, they're even not vocal, but to set the tone in practice and to practice hard? How do these 4 set the tone for the younger players?
Yeah, like I said earlier, they do a really good job. As a senior, you have no choice, but they're going to look up to you. The new freshmen that are in the locker room, obviously, even sophomores, they're going to look up to you because this is year 1 for them as a varsity football player. So you have to set the tone the way you want it to be set because they're coming straight from junior high. And they're going to look up to you, whether you want them to look up to you, whether you're ready to be a leader, whether you're not. You don't have that choice anymore. you are. So it's how you set the tone, whether it be vocally or whether it be by example. And these four done a really good job of just leading by example and doing what they're supposed to do every week in and week out. And I think we have a locker room full of guys that do that. We got to, obviously our freshmen and our sophomores are going to be immature a little bit, but we got to teach them the way. And these four do a really good job of doing so.
All right, Howie, I've got one more question at the end, but I'll give you the next round if you've got some stuff.
I just want to say to these seniors, I appreciate y'all taking the time to join us on this show. I've got some things that I'd like for y'all to autograph that we're giving away. The contest, I'll announce more on the contest here in a few minutes, but taking the time, y'all could, it's Thursday night, y'all could easily be at home with your girlfriends on your phone, something, but you're hanging out with two old guys and telling us and giving us some insight on the Sylvania football, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you.
That's great. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I would. I just want to. I want to ask the last question to kind of close out this segment about football, and we'll go start with Ryan. Ryan, if you had one goal coming into this year, what was it, and have you accomplished it yet?
Play more, and I think I did. I got hurt during the Piss game. It's kind of set me back, but I don't think I think overall I've accomplished my goal, and I think I'll get back into it. So, I'd say
that's good. I remember. Yeah, that's definitely an admirable goal. How about you, Kittle?
That's the same every year. Be the best there is. Win a state championship.
That's admirable. How about you, Braiden? What was your goal, and have you accomplished it yet?
Just to improve, I guess. Obviously I've improved over my time coming back here. So I'd say that not fully accomplished, but there's always room to improve.
That's an excellent answer. Hey, good. What was your goal?
I would kind of go the same as Braiden, as trying to improve from last year and not make as many mistakes as I did last year.
Coach, we've talked about it all year, but this is really the time of the year we need to fill the stands, need to be loud, vocal, and it can make a difference. Friday night is going to be a special night for these young men, and it's football time in Alabama. You don't need a half full house. We need a full house Friday night.
Yeah, that's a huge game for us. These players deserve you to be out there. Our student section's been good all year. We just need them to continue to do what they've been doing, show up, be loud. These guys are going to play hard, whether you're there or not, but we want you to be there and support them and be loud because it's a huge game, like I said.
Coach, without going to individuals, we've discussed kind of some of the injuries. Are you getting a few back over the next couple of weeks as we head to the playoffs, or we just still kind of sitting where we're at last week?
We're set where we're at. I expect to have guys back round one, but we won't have anybody back till then. So we've got to take care of business the next 2 weeks till we get them back and fully capable of doing so. We just got to continue to work and play hard.
Coach, we talked about the offensive side of the football and a little bit about Westbrook on the defensive side of the football. But is there any individuals that when you look at film jumps out that you just say, okay, here's somebody that's an expert. Here's somebody we got to be aware of on the field at all points.
Yeah, 27, the running back. He's quick. He runs. He's fast running back. He's agile. He's good in space. They have two guys, 26, play some slot. They try to get him the ball 12 on the outside. 3, the quarterback does a really good job of sitting in the pocket. He also does a good job getting outside the pocket. He may not be the fastest, but he eludes pressure and does a good job getting outside the pocket and keeping his eyes downfield. A lot of quarterbacks get outside the pocket and their eyes go down. They look to run the football. He keeps his eyes downfield, tries to find somebody, which creates problems as well because we got to make sure we stay in coverage. And then on defense, for nose guards, a good football player, 50. Their corner, 4, does a really good job in coverage. And then I think 9, their safety is one of the better defensive players. I enjoy watching them on film. So they have some good football players. They all play hard. We're just going to have to match their intensity. I think we're going to be all right.
All right, Howie Chaney, any questions you'd like to follow up with Coach Vann before we move on?
No, let's go out and get that W tomorrow night.
All right, how you want to cover the rules to the contest this week?
Contest. I don't know if you guys know about it, but last week we had a contest with the most rushing yards and total score, and actually nobody actually sent an email in, so we didn't have a winner last week. So let's try it again this week. This week we're going to have total passing yards for Sylvania and the total score, tiebreaker's total score. Send this in to RiverCity.Media@yahoo.com, and these 4 seniors are going to sign. First place will get this signed mini helmet by the 4 seniors and Coach Vann. Second place will get this signed Sylvania football by the seniors and Coach Vann. So that's RiverCity.Media@yahoo.com for passing yards and total points scored.
All right, Howie. Just a message for the 4 seniors. I want to thank you personally. You've both all been on here at different points. When Coach Vann and I and Howie talked about doing this show, it was about what we could bring. And you 4 have been a pleasure. And thank you for letting us share just a little bit of your senior season. I know it's not over, and we got a lot of weeks to play football. But even watching y'all from your first visit till tonight, it's like a world of difference. I'm telling you, some of you got a career in media if you want it. So you can take Howie's job, and I'm old, so you never know. Coach Vann might have to replace me at some point because I get senile. But it really is an honor and pleasure for us to get to be part of your journey, and thank you very much. Howie, final words, Coach Vann, you got anything to say to close us out tonight?
Good. Appreciate what y'all do. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach. For Howie Chaney, Coach Vann, these 4 seniors, it's meant so much to us. Thank you, and we'll be back next week, probably hopefully with a home playoff game clinched and another big football game for the Sylvania Rams. Thank you, and good night.